Mr. Stink, Chapter 7, A Bucket in the Corner. This operation had to be top secret. Chloe waited until darkness fell and then led Mr. Stink and the Duchess silently down her street before slipping through the side gate to the garden. "It's just a shed," said Chloe as they entered into the new abode. "I'm sorry there's no ensuite bathroom, but there is a bucket in the corner. It's just behind the lawnmower. You can use that if you need to go in the night." "Well, this is unimaginably kind, young lady. Thank you," said Mr. Stink, smiling broadly. Even the Duchess seemed to bark thank you, or at least cheers. "Now, are you sure your mother and father don't mind me being here? I'd hate to be an unwelcome guest." Chloe gulped, nervous about the lie that was about to come out of her mouth. No, they don't mind at all. They're both just very busy people and they apologise they weren't able to see you right now and meet you in person." Chloe had carefully picked the right time to settle Mr. Stink in. She knew Mother was out campaigning for election and Dad was picking up Annabelle from her sumo wrestling practice. "Well, I would love to meet them both," said Mr. Stink, "and see what people turned out such a wonderfully generous and thoughtful daughter. This will be so much warmer than my bench." Chloe smiled shyly at the compliment. "Sorry, there are all these old cardboard boxes in here," she said. She started to move them out of the way to give them some room to lie down. Mr. Stink gave her a hand, lifting some of the boxes on top of each other. When she got to the bottom box, Chloe paused. Poking out of the top was a charred electric guitar. She examined it for a moment, puzzled, then rummaged through the box and found a pile of old CDs. They were all the same, stacks and stacks of an album entitled Hell for Leather by the Serpents of Doom. "Have you ever heard of this band?" said Chloe. "I don't really know any music past 1958, I'm afraid," said Mr. Stink. Chloe studied the picture on the cover for a moment. Superimposed in front of a drawing of a giant snake stood 4 long-haired leather jacket types. Chloe's eyes fixed on the guitar player, who looked an awful lot like her dad, only with a mass of curly black hair. "I don't believe it," said Chloe. "That's my dad!" She hadn't any idea her dad had ever had a pet, let alone been in a rock band. She didn't know which was more shocking, the idea of him not being bald or the idea of him playing an electric guitar. "Really?" said Stink. "I think so," said Chloe. "It looks like him anyway." She was still studying the album cover with a curious combination of pride and embarrassment. "Well, we all have secrets, Miss Chloe. Now, what should I do if I require a pot of tea or a round of sausage sandwiches on white bread, please, with HP sauce on the side? Is there a bell I need to ring?" Chloe looked at him a little surprised. She hadn't realised she was going to have to feed him as well. No, there's no bell," she said. You see that window up there? Well, that's my bedroom." "Yeah. If you need anything, why don't you flash this old bicycle light up at my window? Then I can come down and take your order." "Perfection," said Mr. Stink. Being in the confined space of the shed with Mr. Stink was beginning to make it difficult for Chloe to breathe. The smell was especially bad today. It was stinky, even by Mr. Stinky's standards. Would you like to get a bath before my family get back?" said Chloe hopefully. The Duchess looked up at her master with a look of desperate hope in her blinking eyes. It was the stink that made her blink. "Let me think." Chloe smiled at him unexpectedly. "Actually, do you know what? I'll leave it for a month, but thank you anyway." "Oh," said Chloe, disappointed. "Is there anything I can get you right now?" "Oh, well, is there an afternoon tea menu, perhaps?" said Mr. Stink. "A choice of scones or cakes or French pastries?" No," said Chloe, "but I could bring you a cup of tea and biscuits, and we should have some cat food that I can bring for the Duchess." "I'm pretty sure the Duchess is a dog and not a cat," said Mr. Stink. "Yeah, I know that, but we've only got a cat, so we've only really got cat food." "Well, maybe you should pop down into Raj's shop tomorrow and buy the Duchess some tins of dog food." "Raj knows the brand she likes," said Mr. Stink. "Here's 10p. You can keep the change." Chloe looked in her hand. Mr. Stink had actually placed an old button there. "Oh, thank you so much, young lady," he said. "And please don't forget to knock when you return in case I'm getting changed in my gym jams." "What have I done?" said Chloe, as she made her way across the lawn back to the house. Her head was buzzing with more imaginary life stories for her new friend, but none of them seemed quite right. Was he an astronaut that had fallen to Earth and in shock lost his memory? Perhaps he was a convict who'd escaped from prison after serving 30 years for a crime he didn't commit. Or, even better, a modern-day pirate who'd been forced by his comrades to walk the plank in shark-infested waters, but against all the odds, he swam to safety. One thing she knew for sure was he did really, really whiff. Indeed, she could still smell him as she reached the back door. The plants and flowers in the garden seemed to have wilted with the smell. They were all now leaning away from the shed as if they were trying to get away from the smell. At least he's safe, thought Chloe. And warm and dry, if only for tonight. When she got up to her room and looked out the window, the light was flashing already. "All butter Highland shortbread biscuits if you have them, please," said Mr. Stink. "Thank you so much." See you later.